welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing some Santa wintry Christmas DIYs. They are all dollar store DIYs, very easy to make, and I hope you enjoy them. For this first DIY, I have picked up this pizza board sign from Dollarama. And I'm going to make it into a somewhat like a tray or a cutting board, and I'm going to give it a good 2 coats of paint. I am using Annie Sloan chalk paint. You could use acrylic paint, but I felt that the chalk paint was much thicker and it gave it a little bit better coverage. I would have probably had to do more than 2 coats with acrylic paint. So once the paint was on and fully dried, I used my Cricut, and in Cricut Design Space, in one of the suggestions or featured projects that they had was this Santa's cookie plate cutout, and I thought this would look really cute on this board, so I cut it out on top of brown vinyl, and I thought brown would look good because there's lots of cookies and hot chocolate and things like that, so I thought brown was a good color. However, this was the Recollections vinyl, and I wasn't all that impressed the way it wasn't really sticking very well, so I did struggle a little bit with transferring it, but I did manage to transfer it. I just don't think I will be using this vinyl again. I think I had more luck with the dollar store vinyl than this one. So once I had rubbed it, I peeled off the transfer tape. This is such an easy DIY to make, and if you don't have a Cricut machine, you can print this out and just Mod Podge it on, or if you're adventurous, you could also draw it on. It wasn't all that complicated, but for me it was just easier to cut it out. For the second DIY, I'm using these wooden ornaments that came from Dollar Tree, and first thing that I'm going to do is remove this ribbon off because I want to paint them, and you don't want to have the ribbon on while you're painting them because it's gonna get paint on top of the ribbon, so it's best that you take it off. And I gave these ornaments just 1 coat of the same acrylic, same chalk paint by Annie Sloan. It is called Original, or used to be called Old White. It's just a creamier white. Again, you can use any type of paint you want, acrylic, or if you have really any paint. I did paint both sides. With the white, I will only going to be adding a design on one and on one side, but I did want to paint both of them. Also, I'm going to paint the little top that's kind of like the hanging part of the ornament with my Christmas red acrylic paint. And I thought this looked really cute, especially once I add my design. And now the stuff that I'm adding in the middle, I did cut it out using my Cricut again, but you will see it's so simple that you could totally draw it on with some permanent markers. It was just a little bit easier for me to do it with my Cricut, and again, this was available on the Design Space under Projects. So I just transferred it and cut it out. I am going to be adding first the lens and then the letters. With the words to transfer it, it was a little bit easier to cut it down and do each word separately. for transferring rather than trying to do a whole thing at once, and that way you can position them exactly the way you want to. And the red vinyl is a Dollar Tree vinyl, and then the black vinyl is the Cricut vinyl. Did have to fix up the E a little bit, and I just used my water-based permanent marker to do that. And then I also, in red, and then in the white one, I just drew on the little, like the little glare in the lens. I think these turned out so cute, and they're gonna look so good on top of my elf Christmas tree. Well, I hope you're enjoying this video so far. If you are, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're stopping by my channel for the very first time, I would love it if you considered subscribing and pressing the notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future uploads. I still have so much to share with you guys coming up, from dollar store DIYs to upcycling to gift ideas and all sorts of stuff. And also don't forget to check out all my other channels, which are linked down below, from decor to cooking and lifestyle. So let's keep on crafting. For my last DIY, it has nothing to do, well, I guess a little bit to do with Santa, just because they are trees, evergreen trees, or Christmas trees, you can make them into. But I picked these felt trees over at Dollarama. It was a package of 5, and I just added, it was very thick felt, but I wanted to add a little bit of snow to them, so I just took that brush from the previous project that had a little bit of white paint on it and just brushed the edges, and that gave it a little bit of a snowy effect. And as you saw previously, I just painted 3 Jenga blocks with the white, again very dry brushing it on with whatever was left on this brush. I never actually dipped the brush back into the paint. So once that was done, I proceeded to assembling the trees. I did a very similar DIY last year, where I cut the trees out with my Cricut machine, and then I had stuffed them with just some pillow stuffing, and then glued them together, and they turned out really cute, and I used them on my tier trays. Now these are going to be a little bit bigger, and I think I'm going to use them in my bedroom decor, because I'm going with that rustic cottage look in my bedroom, and I think these will look really good. So I had some of these round sticks. One was long and then 2 were shorter, and I just hot glued them at different points to give them different heights. And once I hot glued these sticks on, I ended up hot gluing the trees onto the Jenga blocks. Now I did add a little bit of wood glue. I did not show this over the letters where it says Jenga, because these are actual Jenga blocks and they have engraved word into each side of them. And by adding a little bit of wood glue over top of it and smoothing it out, it covered up some of those letters. It didn't do 100% job, but it did a pretty good job. Now, when I'm hot gluing these, you want to be patient and hold them in place until they set, because otherwise they're just going to keep falling over. So this does take a minute for each, just so they set. So I repeat the same process for all three of them. I just love the way these turned out. I think they look so rustic and whimsical almost. Well, this is it. Let me know what you guys thought. Let me know which one was your favorite. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you're not. If you're returning, thank you so much for your continuing support. It means the world to me. So until next time, hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you all so much for watching.